Test one. All right, anybody who can hear us, we are currently just setting up our first live stream over here. So, give us a second. We're going to be playing Welcome to today. Okay. Okay. Hello. Let's check out. Okay. Not sure if I'm coming through, if people can hear me yet. Okay. So, Welcome to is the game we're going to play today. Let's see here. We are not going to play with the special ones. We're just going to play regular, which would be these boards. So if you printed out these boards from before, that is what we will be playing with. So, Welcome to is a flip and write game or roll and write game. It's technically flip and write because we're just flipping cards, but it is a game in which you're going to be writing quite a bit of stuff on this chart. $27. And we are going to play like we did all the other times where we only put 27 cards. Basically, we're just playing 27 rounds or 27 turns. Okay. There we go. Okay. So today, let me try to move some of this stuff around. Okay. Go. Okay, so today, like I said, we'll be playing 1, 2. I'll give a brief outline as to how to play, and then we'll just jump into it. All right, so we're going to pick out a few things. Normally we're a little more set up, but we were kind of rushing this morning with getting a couple of things. So let me grab out what we need. Okay, so in this game, basic overview is we are going to have, we're going to have these cards right here. And we're going to flip them like this as we go along. And so hopefully you guys can make this out. I was just realizing that the numbers and everything is backward. Well, anyway, the point is, I'll kind of probably tell you what we have coming up, and then otherwise we will just play as normal. How this game works is you'll have this sheet that you can print off, and on the sheet you will have a whole bunch of different neighborhoods that you can write into. And so as we flip over new cards, we're going to have new numbers, and those are the house numbers, and we're going to place those house numbers in one of the 3 regions here. Ultimately, the goal of the game is you're going to do really well if you can fill in as much area as possible and collect as many points as possible. The person with the most amount of points is going to win. So we're going to quickly run through how to get points. The first way to get points is to achieve goals. So there are these 3 goals. I'll explain them, and I'll probably reiterate them every now and then, just so everybody knows kind of what they are. So far, we have the number 1 goal is 2 neighborhoods of 6. Number 2 goal is a neighborhood of 4, and 3 neighborhoods of 1. And the third goal is a neighborhood of 2, of 5. So if you complete any of those goals, and we're actually playing, we're kind of changing some of the rules. We're actually playing this way. So if you complete the goal, go ahead and take the lower number, which is the only number right now because I flipped the card over. So you would win the 5 points or 3 points or 6 points, depending on the goal. And you would write it into there. That is the first way to get points. Second way is building a park. So for that, I'm going to have to explain shortly just how to place numbers in general. Numbers have to be played going up. I just lost the word of how to explain that. They're going to be just going up in number. Man, my mind just went blank. Well, anyway, so if you were to write a 3 later, you would, or ascending order. There we go. That's the word. So you would write the 3, and then after that, after the 3 would have to be something higher than a 3. Before a 3 would have to be something lower than a 3. They don't have to be in numerical order, which means that you could later put a 1 next to this 3. You just couldn't put a 3 or a 4 next to the 3 on this side. It would have to be something higher. So that is the basic rules of how to place. Every time I flip these cards, you have to place one of the 3 cards somewhere in your neighborhood. All of the cards will have some sort of bonus that goes with them, and those bonuses will get points as well. So I'll continue explaining. So for the parks, if something has this park symbol, then let's say it was a 3 or a 1 that had a park symbol, and you put a 1 right here, you would cross off, if you can see on your own sheet at home, you would cross off the 0 over here. Later, if you did another one, you cross off the 2 and the 4 and the 6 and the 8. Ultimately speaking, you are going to get the lowest amount of points that you have not crossed off. So if the game ended right now, I would get 2 points for my parks for this row. So I put a 2 here, I would get a 0 for both of these ones, 0, 0. So that's how you're going to get points there. How you get points for pools is, let's say like this one is a 12. If I put a 12 right here, because there's already a pool there, I could circle the pool as long as the pool symbol was out. So now that family who just moved in, I gave them the number 12 house. It had an availability to put in a pool, so we put in a pool. So they get a pool. When you do that, you cross off the lowest number here, which would be a 0. Later, it'd be a 3. And it works the same way. At the end of the game, the lowest not crossed off number is how many points you're going to get. So in this case, if the game ended, I would have 3 points for my pools. Next up is the little construction symbols. There's actually a different word for it, but we just call it the construction symbols. So with those ones, if we have any construction symbols, you can change the numbers. And so maybe it's a 10 is what it says it is, but you could instead change that number. Instead of placing a 10, you could turn it up or down 1 or 2. So you could turn a 10. Well, let's just flip this one over so you can kind of see. This one is 14 with like a little symbol. So you could turn this 14 into a 15 or a 16, or you could turn it down into 12 or a 13. So that is the basics of how those work. When you use them, you cross off this. I think I put in the video, I was going to try to explain a little bit in French too. So I'll just kind of back up for a second. Dans ce jeu, tu dois choisir un numéro. Chaque tour, nous avons 3 numéros. Tu dois choisir un numéro pour place dans ton quartier. Et tu peux placer dans les différentes régions. Ici, ou là, c'est au compte de France. Et après, pour les règles, pour placer le numéro, tu dois placer le numéro ascending order, comme 1 et après 1, 2 et 3 et 4. Mais tu peux placer si tu places en 8 ici, tu peux placer en 4 juste à côté. Parce que le 4 est moins sur le numéro 8. Et après le 8, tu peux placer le 10, par exemple. C'est pas grave, aucune différence. Okay. So that's the basics of those. Pour point de victoire, tu peux gagner les 3 différents buts ou EU. Tu peux gagner le point pour le parc. Chaque fois que tu veux le parc, le symbole de parc, sur le numéro, tu peux placer le numéro comme en 8 et après marquer le parc, le parc, la plus basse parc, comme 0. Et pendant la fin de la partie, tu gagnes les 2 points parce que c'est le numéro le plus bas qui pas X. OK. Après, tu peux utiliser la construction. Si tu veux la construction, tu peux changer, si tu veux, tu peux changer le numéro 14 jusqu'à le 15 ou 16, ou tu peux changer moins comme le 12 ou le 13. Et après, tu marques le petit bois ici. La personne avec le plus petit bois marqué a gagné le 7 points et le prochain gagné 4 points. So what I just said there for this one is that you mark these after you use them. Whether or not you have used them, you just mark them. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most of these symbols is going to win 7 points, 4 points, 1 point. And so what we'll just do, how we'll play it is I'll go straight for the mid-range. Whatever I get at the end of the game, if I at least get one, I'll give myself second place. But if you can get higher than that, take the first place. If you get lower than that, take the third place. Okay. The next region is for the different neighborhoods. A neighborhood consists of fences as well. So the fences aren't on here, but these are fences. So eventually we're going to hit fences. Pour le prochain et pour le estate, je ne sais pas. Estate. Mais pour gagner le point pour l'estate, tu dois marquer, remplir les choses comme you have to place a fence like here, and maybe you place another fence here. Par exemple, tu places la fence ici et là. Et for fences, si tu as le 2 et en fence, tu peux placer le 2 ici et place la fence ici. So for placing a fence, you can just place a number in any of the 3 regions, and then you can place the fence anywhere. You're not locked to just that area. Now, at the end of the game, if you can get this filled in, si tu remplis la section ici comme 7 et 10, 7, 8, 10 et la fence du côté, you have fences on both sides, it's all contained. This is one neighborhood of 3. So at the end of the game, you would put a little 1 here, and for your neighborhoods of 3, you would win 3 points for each neighborhood of 3 that you have. Tu gagnes 3 points pour chaque estate. C'est inclus les 3 maisons ou avec le fence à la du côté. Okay. But if you can use these symbols, I just call these upgrades. I'm not really sure what they're called. But you can increase the value of a house. So if you were to place this 3, let's say you place a 3 there, right? That's a 3. And you choose to upgrade the number 3. Now at the end of the game, you're going to get 4 points for every section. So si tu places le 3, tu peux utiliser le upgrade pour X le numéro ici, et pendant la fin de la partie, tu gagnes le point qui est la plus basse. Donc, pour cette région, avec les 3 maisons, je gagnais 4 points en lieu de juste 3 points. OK. And these multiply. So if I had another section, 11, 12, 15, that would be 2 of them. So I'd have 2 here. 2 times 4 is, well, yeah, 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so you'd one way 8. C'était tu dois fois le numéro ensemble. Donc, si tu as les deux groupes de 3 maisons avec la fence, et tu marquais le 2 ici et tu gagnais 2 fois 4. Et tu gagnais 8 points. Okay. And lastly, this is one that you would lose points on. Tu peux perdu le point avec le biz. Le biz for business addresses, if there's a biz underneath, it just means that you could place, say this was a biz instead of what it is. You place the 14 here, and then you could put like a 3B here. So that way you can fill in more spaces. But every time you do that, you mark this, and you're going to get that many points subtracted. So tu perdu le point chaque fois que tu utilises cette chose ici. Par exemple, c'est le 14 à le biz. Tu peux utiliser le 14, place le 14 ici et utiliser le biz ici pour le 3 et 3 biz pour le business address, business courriel. Et tu marques les choses ici comme marquer le 0 et maintenant, pendant la fin de la partie, tu perds 1 point. So that's how that works. If you can ever not place one of these numbers, you always have to place. Tu dois placer un numéro chaque tour, mais c'est possible pour vous pas placer un numéro. Donc, tu marques ici. Si tu marques ici, tu perds 3 points dans la fin de la partie. Et si tu marques 7, la partie est finie et tu perds 5 points. So if you mark down to that, you would lose 3 points. If you mark all of the boxes, you're going to lose up to 5 points. And that would technically end the game. But we are instead going to play the game until we run out of cards. Okay. So let's start with our first one. So this is going to be I'll just kind of cut the deck and we'll just change those since we kind of flip them over and saw. Okay. What do we have here? And like I said, I will try to place these out so you can see them like that. Okay. So a neighborhood of 6, if you get 2 neighborhoods of 6, you're going to win 6 points. If you have a neighborhood of 4 and 3 neighborhoods of 1, you're going to get 5 points. And a neighborhood of 2 and a neighborhood of 5 will get you 3 points. This would be the other way of ending the game if you own the game yourself. If somebody were to collect all 3 of these, they would end the game. So that's ending the game. Most likely you're not going to get all 3 in this round because we're just going through one time and playing. All right. So let's start with this. The first one, we have an 8 with an upgrade, a 9 with a fence, and 11 with a... So pick one of those and place it in one of your boxes. And then we will just continue on. All right. So that was the first row. I'll just move on to the next one. So now we have a 7 with an upgrade. We have let me around. We have a 12 with an upgrade, and it looks like everyone's going to be upgrading neighborhoods. We have a 7 with an upgrade. Now, you never have to take any of these ones. You always have to at least take one number, but you never have to take the bottom. I'm pointing that out because you never have to take a biz. Most likely everything else you're going to want to take because it's going to be good for you. Tu ne peux pas utiliser la chose sur le numéro, mais tu dois choisir un numéro chaque tour, mais tu ne veux pas utiliser les choses sur le numéro si tu veux. Okay. All right. Well, people think there. I'm going to try to write in what these goals are. Okay, goal number one, I just put it up as goal number one is 2 neighborhoods of 6. Maybe that didn't make any sense. 2x neighborhood 6. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll keep putting up the other ones if that makes any sense, or maybe we'll find a better way to like demonstrate what the neighborhoods are. But otherwise, we'll just keep going. So the first one is a 10 with a park. This is a 13 with a pool, and an 8 with a biz. And again, you have to use the biz if you want to use the 8. And again, you wouldn't have to use the pool if you don't have a place to put a pool at that number point. Okay, type in what the next goal is. It is a neighborhood of 4 and 4 neighborhoods of 1. Hopefully this will make sense if you were to read it. And I'll put in the next goal after the next turn. Next turn is an 8 with a fence, a 1 with a business address, or an 11 with a park. Let's see, the last goal. Is a neighborhood of 2 and a neighborhood of, oops. Let's change that one. Number 2 is actually a neighborhood N of 2 and a neighborhood of 5. There we go. That's right. Okay. Next one is a 2 with a business address, a 3 with and a 10 with a park. Okay. All right, I'm gonna flip over the next one. We have a 15 with a park. We have a 10 with a fence, or not a fence. We have a 10 with a construction, and we have a 7 with a biz. Let's see how this turns out for me. I'm trying out than I normally do, but all right, then again, you only pick out one of the 3 numbers. So I'll go on to the next one. It's a 6 with a park, a 6 with a construction. So this 6 could become a 4. It could be a 5. It could be left as a 6. It could be a 7, or it could be an 8. That can be very handy toward the end of the game. So regardless, if you use this 6 at all, go ahead and mark that bottom symbol. right. Flip over the next one. We have 7 with a fence. We have a 7 with an upgrade. And we have a 7 with a pool. Hmm. That. All right. Almost ready for the next one. Okay. Next turn. We will do a 14 with a fence, a 3 with a construction. Okay. All right, I will start the next hand. It's a 4 with a fence, and a 6 with an upgrade. Just do that. Everybody else think for a little bit. Kind of just go very quickly. Okay, next turn. Let's do this is an 11 with a pool, a 5 with a pool, and an 8 with a construction. Organize that for all the people out there who are like it all. Okay. Remember that 8 could become a 6, 7, or it stays an 8, or it could get turned into a 9 or a 10. In case that impacts anyone's decision-making process. All right, next turn. A 1 with an upgrade, a 9 with a fence, and a 5 with another fence. I think this has been the first one of the game. Possibly. Think through that for a second. So we're trying to decide whether or not to put this up on YouTube or keep putting it on our Facebook page. So this week we'll probably try our YouTube page throughout the week and see how it looks, if we like it, if we need to play around with the camera. So that's why today was a little bit different than the rest of the days, but hopefully it'll be back to the normal us playing through. And tomorrow is me and Jane's second game of the World as we know it through two-player championship or two-player tournament, in which I think what was voted on officially was going to be X-Wing. So our next game we are going to play was X-Wing. Okay, our next one is 8 with an upgrade, 5 with a park, and a 6 with a park. And then after tomorrow's playthrough or during tomorrow's playthrough of those games, we will put up another post or vote poll so you can choose the next two-player game that we will play head to head. So far, I think I'm kind of getting farther and farther in the lead against Jane, but it helps out when other people vote on some of the games that he's a little better at. So we'll see how he does at X-Wing tomorrow. All right, next hand, 3 with a fence. 12 with an upgrade, and an 8 with a pool. All right. All right. Next one. Let's do a 9 with a biz. A 9 with another biz. Okay, I guess you guys really only have business addresses to really work with this time, except for the last one. A 4 with an upgrade. And again, you don't ever have to use these ones if you don't want to, but if you do, you can use it. 4. Okay. All right. Now, if you ever win any of these in the game, I haven't won any yet, but just to show you, what you do is you mark this little white line above it. Say I won the 2 6s. If I can fill in this other 6 and this 6, what I do is I cross off both the top bars, which means from now on, I can't cut that one with another fence, and I can't use any of that part of the neighborhood for a different goal. Some of these goals will overlap. These ones do not, but some will have like, this might have like 2 neighborhoods of 4, and then you have another neighborhood of 4. You'd have to get another one additionally beyond what you got for this one. Okay. Next is a 9 with an upgrade, a 2 with a park, and a 12 with a construction. And remember that 12 could be turned down into a 10, 11, or it could be brought up to a 13 or left as a 12. Okay. We are getting close to the bottom. So do the next one. We have a 14 with a business address, an 11 with an upgrade, and a 14 a construction. And now the top number that you could ever get is a 15 in here. And so a 14 with a construction or a 15 with a construction is the only way to get above that 15 mark if you were to need it. If you only put a 15 too close to one of the other edges. Also, you can turn a 1 or 2 down to a 0, but you cannot go down to a -1. Not that we've had that come up yet, but just for, thought process. Want to do that? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Next, we have a 1 with a park, a 6 with a park, and a 13 with an upgrade. Okay. Next one is a 5 with a fence, a 13 with a fence, and a 15 with a fence. Okay, looks like maybe 6 hands left, 6 numbers left to put in, so we'll see. Next one is a 9. I'll turn that around. 9 with an upgrade, a 9 with a construction, and a 12 with an upgrade. Okay. Go right on to the next turn. A 4 with a construction, a 10 with a pool, and a 12 with an upgrade. Okay, and just to show you, I did get these 2 6s now. So I just put a line up here and another line up here. I marked that I got the number one goal. That was 6 points. So I put a 6 right here. That's it. Now, from now on, I can't put any fences in between here, and they're just kind of stuck where they are. All right, next turn is going to be 8 with a business address, a 5 with a park, and a 15 with a park. Okay. All right. So close to the end now. We have a 10 with a pool. We have a 7 with a fence. We have an 8, another fence. Yeah, it looks like we have three numbers left. So a 2, an upgrade, a 6 with a park, and an 8 with a construction. So find yourself a good place to put those numbers if you can. Because we only have two numbers to see left, and then we will end the game there. If you own the game, you just continue playing. You would shuffle all these up. Every time someone got a goal, you could choose to shuffle them up. But otherwise, you shuffle them up every time you run out of a pile. So now we have an 11 with a park, a 4, or sorry, an 11 with a fence, a 4 with a park, and a 13 with a park. There. Okay, this is the last number. We have a 6 with a fence, a 5 with a park, and lastly, a 10 with a pool. So place one of those numbers if you can, and then we'll go over how to total up your entire score, and then you'll basically know how to play. So if you went out and you bought the game yourself, you would now know how to play all by yourself without any help. Okay. So again, this is the last number that was up, last set of numbers. I'm going to move them out of the way to kind of show how my scoring works, so that way you guys understand your scoring. So we'll just move these ones away. Okay, set that off to the side. We have these goals up here still. You can still win or claim those if need be. Well, let's go through here and see scoring. Now, my numbers, my first thing is goals. I only got this one goal. I did not get any of the other 3. So I got 6 points total for goals. You just total it down. For parks, I got all the way up to there. So I'm going to get 18 for that bottom one. My lowest number here is a 4. So I got 4 for that one. My lowest number here is a 4. So I'm going to get 4 for that one. Okay, and then you would total up all these. So that's what, 22, 26. 26. Okay, next is pools. Now, these are only the pools that I actually circled and put in here and use as a pool. You don't get this point if you just placed a number where a pool is. It had to request a pool. Otherwise, the people just got a pool for free. But in this case, my lowest number one is a 3. So I got 3 points for all my pools. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I was only going to take the second place. And so I'm going to give myself 4. I used 2 of the construction symbols. So if you used 2, then you're going to get 4 points. If you used more than 2, you're going to get 7 points. And if you use less than 2, you're going to get 1 point. If you didn't use any, you don't get any points. You have to at least have played something. Now, neighborhoods. My first one here, you just go through counting up everything you have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 neighborhoods that are 1 big. So 5. And my lowest number here is a 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. So I got 15 points for that. For other neighborhoods, I don't have any neighborhoods of 2, 3, 4, or 5. So those are all going to be zeros. And then lastly, I have my neighborhoods of 6s. I have this neighborhood that we know right here, and this neighborhood, and then this neighborhood as well is the neighborhood of 6. So I have 3 of them. So now I'm going to take 3 times 12 because I upgraded this one all the way. So that's going to be 36. Now I did use 2 business addresses. So I'm going to take negative 3 points for that. And then I'm just going to go right through here and I total everything up. A lot of times we just kind of total up down on the side, but let's see here. So I'm going to have, that's 30, 39, 6, 9. So I got 90 minus the 3. So it looks like I got 3 plus 4 plus 15, 36. And then subtracting out. Yeah, I did do that right. And then subtracting out the negative 3. I was able to always use all my numbers, so I had none of these marked off. But say you did use some, you would have to subtract 3 or up to 5 from your total. But I did not have those. We found with this game, when we only played one round of it up to 27 cards, you tend not to use these yet. Anyway, so my current total would be 87. The game would probably finish up in about 5 more turns, normally speaking, just because we would start running out of places to place numbers. So we'd start marking off these. Usually, other people start getting these goals and winning them. But otherwise, that is welcome too, and that is how you play it. With this, we usually just if you'd like to play it with us next week, I'd highly recommend you print off the little sheet that we have, and then what you do after you have the sheets is put it inside of a binder and use a dry erase marker. That way you can keep reusing it over and over and over. If you're like us, you can't seem to, for the life of you, get a hold of any new ink. So we are just laminating and reusing everything because, it's the time we live in right now. Anyway, it was great to play with everybody, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Play with us. Tomorrow, you'll be able to watch Jane and I continue our World as We Know It 2-player tournament. And like I said, we're going to be playing X-Wing, and we will put up the new vote as to which game we will play on Thursday. Otherwise, if you want to just play games with us, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the days that we play roll and write games. So Monday is Welcome to, Wednesday is Railroad Inc., and Friday is Rolling Realms. And so with all those, just find them in the description or our website at ANM Game Schooling or any